Hi, my name's Danielle Drew, Managing Director of EFC Asia Pacific. And I want to talk to you right now about the cost of living and the fuel crisis and what the impact is on our martial arts and dance school businesses. Over the past few weeks, I've had that same question pop up over and over and over again. Different school owners, different locations, but all with the same concern. People are starting to feel that cost of living crunch, right? And so we're starting to ask ourselves, what do I do if they want to cancel? And I get it. Because you can feel it coming before they even say it, right? You're talking to a parent and they drop little comments like, fuel's getting pretty expensive now. And we're just looking at our spending right now. Then you think, oh, here it comes. But here's a shift that I encourage you to make now so that we're working from a proactive perspective, not a reactive perspective. And what I mean by that is instead of waiting for parents to come to you and say, look, we need to put our memberships on hold or we need to cancel, it's just too expensive with the cost of living these days, what if we take a proactive step and actually really reinforce to the parents and the students in our schools the value of what it is that we're offering. The thing is, when money gets tight, people don't cancel everything. What they cancel is what they feel is optional. And it's about value rather than cost. Because when something feels really essential, people will find a way to make it happen. Let me give you an example. No one cancels their child's education halfway through the year because petrol's gone up. No one says, you know what, we're just going to pause sending my kid to primary school or high school for this year. It's just gotten too expensive. Why? Because they see it as essential. Yes, it's mandated by the government, but the basic bottom line is it's an essential expense that they will find a way to meet. And our job is to make sure that our martial arts and dance programs feel just as essential to our families as any other of those essential expenses. And here's the trick, it's not just about showing it. It's about really reinforcing it and not just saying it, but making sure that the families understand it. Let me give you a quick story. There's a student in a school who started out and he's super shy, right? Won't make eye contact, chin always pointing at the floor. And he could barely speak up in a class. Now you fast forward a few months and suddenly that same student is now leading the warm-ups, competing in the tournament circuit and standing in front of a group of people with confidence. Now here's the question. Does that parent always see that transformation that that student's undertaken? We might think they do, but it might surprise you to know that that's not always the case. And that's because most of the time, the only feedback that parents get from their kids about how they're enjoying their martial arts or dance program comes from the child. And it goes something like this. Hey, how was class today? Yeah, it was okay. What did you learn? Nothing. Now, if you're the parent on the end of that interaction, how valuable do you see the money you're spending being? Probably not as high value as you would like. In fact, in that moment, they're thinking, why am I paying for this? My kid's getting nothing out of it. And that's when it leads to the question being asked. Am I getting value for money? Is this something I want to invest in? And the thing is, guys, it's not because what we do isn't valuable. It's because it's not a visible value. That's the gap. And that's what we can do to keep our members training during this current cost of living crunch. Now think of it like this. If you went to the gym for 3 months and you never looked in the mirror, you never measured yourself, or you got on the scale, or you never got on the scales, you never tracked your progress, at some point you'd think to yourself, well, this is not working. Why am I wasting my money? And it's not because it's not working, it's because you can't see it. And that's exactly what happens with parents. So here's what we can do to keep our members training. We do not wait for them to ask the question in the form of a cancellation or a hold request. We show it to them proactively. And this is where the EFC app becomes one of the most powerful retention tools that you have. Instead of hoping that parents notice the progress, we can send it to them. Pick up your phone, take a couple of snapshots or a couple of videos of the students in the class and send it through the observations feature to the member's family directly in the app. And add in a simple message. Now, this is the important part. You need to add in a message that reflects back to the parent the value of the program in their own language. So if they came to you and they wanted confidence or self-discipline or focus or fitness or one of the many values that we can provide through our martial arts and dance programs, it's really important you reflect it back to them in that language. Look at the confidence your child showed today. Look at the focus that they demonstrated in class today. Can you see how well they led the group today? When you use the language and the video or photographic proof, something shifts for the parents. They can see the value. The child feels recognized, and suddenly this is not just a class anymore. It's about growth. It's about development. And more importantly, guys, it becomes something they don't want to lose. And that's the key. Because when people are reviewing their expenses, and let's face it, we all are right now, they don't cut everything. They cut things that feel optional. And our job is to make sure that what we do never feels optional. So instead of asking, gosh, how do I stop people cancelling? Ask a different question. Ask, how do I make the value of my program so clear that they wouldn't want to cancel? And that's the game. So this week, I invite you to pick 5 to 10 students and send their parents a short video or a photo through the EFC app. And don't talk about the class, talk about the outcome, confidence, focus, discipline, whatever it is that child came to your school to get. Because when a parent can see progress, they stop questioning price and they start protecting the value of the investment that they have made with you. If you're not sure how to use the EFC app or you want more information on that service, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and looking forward to hearing your feedback on how this goes for you. Wherever you are in the world, have a great morning, evening or afternoon. See you next time. Bye for now.